I say Buddha, you say Pest. Buddha, Pest, Buddha, Pest, Buddha, Pest, Buddha, Pest.
Budapest is old, like really old. Back in the early 1st century, it was the site of many wars, mostly due to its location on the Danube River, which served as a border of the Roman Empire. Back in the Roman days, they called this place Aquincum, and it holds the lore that the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote meditations here. Around the 9th century, the Bulgarians set up 2 fortresses guarding both sides of the Danube River, Buda on the west and Pest on the east side. A couple hundred years later, Buda was renamed to Ofen, meaning furnace, due to the numerous lime kilns found in the city. As Pest was already a representation of the Slavic word meaning furnace, the literal translation of the city was furnace. Or maybe fuel fire.
Give me fuel, give me fire!
Today, Budapest is the 9th largest city in the EU, with nearly 2 million people in this massive metropolis. The east side of the city has so much cultural history around Judaism. Before World War II, over 200,000 Jews lived in the city. Although Hungary was allied with Nazi Germany, Budapest was seen as a safe area for Jews, and it was only late in the war when the Nazis started to sanction the Jewish residents in Budapest. Hungary did not stand for this though, and in June of 1944 halted the deportation of her Jewish residents to the concentration camps. This defiance only lasted 4 months though, as once the Nazis discovered what was up, they set up a coup and ousted the Hungarian government, replacing it with their own leaders in October of 1944. When the Soviets came in February of 1945 to free the city of the Nazis, only 50% of the original Jews were left in the city. When the Soviets were evicting the Germans out of the city, major destruction was experienced throughout the city. The entire castle district stood in rubble. This is why today we see many of the modern building structures mixed throughout some of the original and reconstructed areas. The dimples in this wall are from shell splatter that has permanently pierced the outside. While not by invitation, the Soviets stayed in Hungary from 1945 to 1989. Throughout the 44-year time period, Hungary really just wanted their country back, as they had barely any time to structure a government of her own since the dissolution of the Austro-Hungarian Empire after World War I. With the revolution of 1989 taking place all over Europe, Hungary saw this as an opportunity to lead the way. She tore the literal Iron Wall down, which barricaded Austria from Hungary. The defiance of communism here set up as an example, as next up was Germany to rip down their own wall in Berlin, and thus ended European communism. The Castle District has gone through some great efforts of restoration in the last couple of decades. Notably up top, I had to also dabble in some Hungarian-Romanian lore, as the labyrinth that Vlad the Impaler was imprisoned in for 14 years is up here. Vlad the Impaler is the person who started the lore of Count Dracula. This may have been one of the most well-done tourist attractions I visited, as there was barely any light in the tunnels, and you got a pretty good idea of how dark, scary, and creepy it was. I finally came out, having 3 new Spanish friends. With my little Spanish and their little English, we worked together and successfully came out of the tunnel 3 hours later. It was supposed to take us 45 minutes. Outside the tunnels, Budapest stands bright, safe, and vibrant, with life and energy. While there were a bunch of tourists, I found it relatively easy to avoid them by just wandering down random streets that were far from the beaten path. Join me next time as I continue my journey around the world to take the best selfies ever. Thanks for watching. Bye!